Big story of the day then. Danny Cipriani has gone. What can you say about it?
Look, me and Danny have we've got a very good relationship and a very honest relationship, and we've had a couple of discussions over the last few weeks, and Danny felt it was time for a new challenge, and we fully support him in that. And we've shook hands, and as I say, Danny's off to whatever his next challenge is.
And how much of a shock to you was his departure?
Yeah, like I say, today's not a shock to me because I've been talking to Danny for a couple of weeks, and as I say, it's relatively easy when you've got a good relationship with someone and you can talk honestly and openly. So, I'm pleased for Danny that he can. He's been a great servant to the club, and he can push on and challenge himself in whatever route he chooses to go down.
Yeah, absolutely. Great servant to the club. How do you sum up his contribution to Gloucester?
Yeah, look, the particularly the season, a couple of years ago when Gloucester got into the playoffs, I think he was Player of the Year and he was outstanding, and he brought some great moments to Gloucester and to the game, full stop. And I think a player of his quality is great to watch when he's in full flow and playing like that. So I'm sure the fans will have plenty of nice messages for him, and they'll appreciate what he did while he was here.
And a busy day at Kingsholm, you signing Adam Hastings. How much do you see Adam as a direct replacement for Danny?
Well, I think Adam's a good signing for us. He's young, he's hungry, he's got a good, he's already got good experience behind him, obviously, and he's really excited to come and play in the Premiership. And I think that's obviously very exciting for the club and the supporters of the club.
And sort of moving on, but looking back, heavy defeat at Lyon last weekend with lots of youngsters playing. Ulster coming up, what sort of team are you going to put out? How much different? More of a standard starting 15?
Yeah, it will look different to what it did last week. We're managing our way through this process. We've got a good few injuries, and we've also we've got a good bit of exposure with the young lads last weekend. So there's all sorts of decisions and managing different players and trying to see expose other players, and we're managing it the way we think is best. But the team will look slightly different this weekend.
And looking further ahead, any eyes on the Exeter game on Boxing Day?
Well, we're dealing with Ulster right now. We obviously know that's our next Premiership game, and we they're under no illusion how tough that one is for sure. But right now we're focused on Ulster, and obviously Ulster had a great season last season, and they were they only just lost on the weekend. They're a serious outfit, and they're very impressive when you watch them play.
And how much a challenge is it, George, to put out a fully competitive team in both the league and Europe, given the changes to squad, injuries, and those back-to-back fixtures week in, week out?
Yeah, I think it's very challenging in a normal season. I think if you have the squad to compete on both fronts, that's a real privilege. I think on a season like this, where it's back-to-back every single week, and then you throw in the amount of injuries we've got right now, that it is it's very difficult. But you take the positives from it, and obviously the scoreline wasn't particularly enjoyable on the weekend. I thought there were some young players in George Barton particularly. He worked extremely hard, and I was really impressed with him. Seb Nagle-Taylor in his first game of sort of out of the Championship, and there were just some good solid guys working really, really hard, and we made lots of mistakes, and there's loads of young lads who we've sat down, reviewed their games with them, and they'll just be better for it in the long run.
And you mentioned the injuries. What's the situation with Ben Morgan, Willie Hines? How desperate are you for some of your big names to be back?
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, I obviously I haven't had the privilege of really picking them since I've been at the club. So Willie played Bath, but then he got an injury with England there. So yeah, I would love to have all our big names ready open for selection, but unfortunately that's just not the case at the moment.
And many of our listeners they're stuck at home, not travelling as much. What's it like to be travelling to places like Lyon during the pandemic? How was that experience for you and the squad?
Yeah, it's different, and I think like I say, it was great for the young lads to be exposed against such a good Lyon team on the pitch. But I'd have absolutely loved there to be a baying crowd as well, and then you get that real experience of playing in France away, which never mind how tough it is on the pitch. When you turn up and you run out, and the crowd, a bit like Kingsholm, they're not shy of letting you know what they think. It is something special, and I think we flew out to Lyon. We were basically locked in a hotel, and then we played the game and flew home. So a different experience. But as I say, the positives are we've led a lot of the lads on the weekend to a high tempo, extremely physical game.